esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello.
Time is running out on Dan Cole's round. Let's go to 15. Bob?
Yeah, John Cole has been visibly angry. He's been talking to himself quite a bit. And it doesn't get any easier here on the par 3 15th hole at Minnesota National. This hole is guarded by two bunkers with a big tree in front of the green. Very challenging tee shot. He's opted to hit a 5-iron here. Cole, unreal pants, fluttering in the wind, mumbling to himself, I've got to have this shot.
Hooty-hoo!
Ooh, that's very well struck. Spinning through the air like a J.J. McCarthy pass. It's right on line. Looking good. Oh, my! It's in! I can't believe what I just saw. A hole-in-one for Cole at the 15th, and he's pointing at patrons in the gallery shouting, you doubted me, you doubted me, you doubted me, and now he's embracing his son, Peter. What a moment between father and son here at the 15th at Minnesota National.
Now what do you think? What do you think of that?
Minnesota is so hot.
That is B-I-G big for this football team.
I'm going to say something controversial here.
That's interesting.
Nuts and bolts, we got screwed.
We're the state of hockey, and I think that proves it, so.
What are you doing?
I'm a fraud. Yes. Hasn't been well established.
He's the clown from Brown.
Yeah.
He's the fourth in the north.
Okay.
This is the common man, Dan Cole.
I'm not paying as close attention to the radio station as I once did. I saw Kevin Fallness leave. Brett Blakemore was here. Was the Paul Allen Project on hiatus today?
Yeah, no PA, no Nordo.
Oh.
Fallness hosted.
Do we have any indication of where they were? Tend to be, my guess is if I give that task to you, being the detective that you are, remember you were able to find out who was the one who blew up the microwave. You were able to find out who absconded with my box of Pro V1s, Titleist Pro V1s. Maybe if I put you on this case, you could tell me why are both PA and Nordo out today? It sounds very controversial to me. Do you think it's possible that they were applying for a radio job somewhere? Maybe talk show host in a different city. Are there any teams in the NFL right now looking for play-by-play guys that you know of? I'm not aware of it.
Even if they're not looking, they should fire whoever they have and hire PA anyway. It's a national treasure.
If you can get the national treasure, then I think that's exactly what you do. So they were out today. We're in. Maybe it's because, PA and Nordo love golf so much. Maybe they took the day off to watch them.
Maybe they went to Augusta.
Well, you know what I heard? That the two of them have never missed the first round of the Masters for like 25, 30 years, even though they've only known each other about 10 years or however long it's been. This is, by the way, once again, this is be the, how many years have we worked together?
Man, it's starting to the point where I think we're at about 20 and a half.
So let's just go with 21 years. In the 21 years we worked together, we're watching the first round of the Masters.
Yes. A tradition unlike any other.
It's a tradition unlike it. Speaking of that, I had on live from today. They had Nance on. Honestly, I mean, he is really good at what he does, right? He's one of the very best, right?
Yeah.
But they started talking to him about, when he said, what did he say? One for the ages. And then, what was the other one? It was like in his fourth year. And he's, oh, sorry, the echoing. Sorry about that. I didn't turn that on this time either. So I guess that I can still hear it though. So I heard somewhere where, Nance said they were doing an interview with Jimmy Nance, right? A lead announcer for the Masters on CBS, and they were asking him about, his call of Tiger, one for the ages after he won. And then apparently when the Golden Bear was coming back in 86, I guess Nance goes that far back, he said the bear comes out of hibernation. And he's talking about his calls and acting like, seriously, he was talking about how Shirkini, he goes, this is what he said. And then when I said, somebody else must have said the bear is coming out of hibernation. Maybe I stole somebody's bit. And he was worried about getting fired. But then when Frank Chirkanian, he's the longtime producer of the Masters, a golf producer for CBS. I think he might be retired, maybe even passed away. I don't know. He could still be doing it. But he says Chirkanian came up to him and gave him a big bear hug and said, great job. So he's acting as though like these calls, do you put a lot, do you believe in miracles and all those? I know they're legendary. We'll see you tomorrow night, but they act as though they found a cure for polio or something like that. It's okay. I say ack-ack-a-dack. No, I did steal that. I stole that from Fred Flintstone, from the Flintstones. But it's like, it's so...
Well, some of them are they're orchestrated ahead of time, too, right? It's not like... like when it was Down Goes Frazier, that's coming out of nowhere, right?
That's coming out of nowhere.
You can't just predict that's going to happen ahead of time, but...
Yeah, or he said, he goes, well, the one for the ages, I already had that in my back pocket. He said, I think he said in my hip pocket.
I think most of them are in his hip pocket.
Yeah, well, I think they are.
He spends more time thinking about those than anybody.
Yeah, and then, we all know the story about how he would always, and he didn't like that the story came out. He got bitter. If you'll remember, he snapped back at media members that were chiding him about. At the end, it was what he would do. It was a tradition like none other. Is it no other or none other? It was a tradition like none other, or like no other. He would take his tie off and give it to whoever was selected the most the MVP of the NCAA Final Four. He would give the guy his tie, like it's a souvenir. Like, here, keep this in remembrance of me. He was like, it was a Good Friday, but of course the game was played on a Monday. So what are you talking about? Do you think any of those kids ever took that tie and just said, hey, thanks, and kind of looked at him and went, what does he want me to do with this? Right?
Yeah.
That's what I would think, but I don't know. Are we allowed to play the Masters theme music anymore now, or can't we do that? Probably technically we can't, can we? Because I sure do want to.
Is it licensed?
Well, yeah, it's a real song. It's was done by Dave Loggins. I'm not trying to do a bit here. It was done by, it was true. They were Dave Loggins, Dave Loggins, his biggest claim to fame was, please come to Boston for the springtime. You know that song. We used to play it. I think it was bumper music. He wrote a song called Augusta. And it's about the Masters. And it has words. That's the music they use on CBS, except they don't have any of the lyrics. The lyrics are a little cheesy. So they took out the cheesy lyrics, but they play them, and we'd always do it for our leaderboard. But why don't we go ahead and do it, Tenna? Do you, even without the music, should we take a quick leaderboard update right now?
Yeah, we can take a look at the leaderboard. Your leader, or should I say co-leaders at 4 under, Sam Burns and Patrick Reed. Burns 4 under through 13, Reed 4 under through 10. Reed actually started the round birdie eagle, so he was 3 under through 2. Something called Christopher Rattan out of Norway is 3 under through 14.
I think it's rattan. He invented some type of a material for furniture, rattan chairs.
Tommy Fleetwood also at 3 under. He's through 11. And then 3 at 2 strokes back. That would be Nick Taylor, Akshay Bhatia, and Xander. There's 5 at 2 under. Taylor, Bhatia, Xander Schauffele. Your guy, Fred Couples, 2 under through 2. And Aaron Rye also 2 under through 2. Rory, by the way, 1 under through 8.
By the way, we don't call him Xander. We call him the X-Man.
The X-Man.
You hear him call him the X-Man? I kind of roll my eyes, shrug my shoulders, and say he's a golfer. He's not a superhero. Superhero would be like if you're in a comic book. Then you're the X-Man. But the X-Man. And I like the X-Man. There was somebody here at the radio station that picked Patrick Reed to win the Masters. I wonder who that was. Oh, the official, unofficial ambassador. Rose is he's my sentimental favorite who I'd like to see win.
Yeah.
I texted my brother and asked him if he was rooting for him. And he goes, now this might sound strange. He goes, but he kind of roots for the golf course. In other words, he looks at the golf courses. He likes to see just let me read this text. I thought this was a really cool approach to the Masters. I think, Tenna, you might like this as well. This is what my brother said. He goes, as weird as it sounds, Augusta is the star for me, and I watch the tournament to see how the players play it and how it plays them. Old or young, known or unknown, I just sit back and see what happens. Though I did pull for Rory last year, the pressure on him was insane. But I like the way he says that. Augusta is the star for me, and I watch the tournament to see how the players play it and how it plays them. Doesn't matter if they're old or young, known or unknown, because it does have old and young. It has known and unknown. And through 2 holes, 2-time Masters champion, the 60-year-old Spaniard, Jose Maria Olazabal, was on pace to shoot 60. He was. You can't argue with the math. Through 2 holes, he was 2 under. I don't think it's going to hold up. Where is he at? Is he still at 2 under?
He's in the clubhouse now.
And did he shoot 2 under for the day?
He shot a 2 over 74.
So it kind of got away from Jose. So
it looks like he had a rough stretch on the back nine. He bogeyed 14, doubled 15, and then bogeyed 16.
He must have hit it in the water on 15.
Yeah.
And 16, I would just guess maybe a 3-putt, but maybe that was in the water too. That's unfortunate. And again, he wasn't going to win. And Freddie, again, doing it again at age 60. Freddie's got to be almost 65, isn't he? He's got to be early 60s. I think he's a little older than Olazabal. And can he hang on? I don't know. Making the cuts just, I think, is all you can really hope for from those guys. As we go to break, Tenna, I have a question for you for 534, but I'll ask it now.
Freddie is 66 years old.
Okay. 6'7". He's almost 6'7". I have a question for you. I'll save it. It's golf related, and I just want to get your thoughts on it. But let's do this. Let's pause, return. We'll do peek at the purple if there's any purple to peek at. If there isn't any purple to peek at, we'll just make it up as we go along. We'll still, of course, talk about Affordable Electric as they sponsor Peek at the Purple. The legendary one, Mark Rosen, will join us just before 2 o'clock. We'll keep you updated on the Masters all day long. This is the Common Man program along with Tenna B, right here on the Fan.
You already listened. Now watch the Fan. Check out the KFAN YouTube channel for exclusive videos, in-depth takes, initials and password games, and behind-the-scenes content. Search KFAN on YouTube and hit subscribe today.
Did you read that word for word?
Yes.
It's funny they put the initials ahead of the program password. It must be because it's alphabetical.
I'm just amazed they even added password.
I guess I should just be happy, right? Isn't that funny? I'm always looking for... Instead of looking for the silver lining, I'm always waiting for the electricity to come out of that dark cloud. That same electricity, that jolt you get when you think about affordable electric. They're shockingly affordable. They bring you Peek at the Purple. Your breakers are tripping. Wow, man. Lights are flickering. Ooh. Or your home still has an older electrical panel. It might be time to do an upgrade. Affordable Electric is taking $350 off service panel upgrades. You got that right. I'll say that again. Affordable Electric is taking $350 off service panel upgrades, and you may qualify for utility rebates as well. Eligibility requirements apply. Call them, text them, 612-331-VOLT, 612-331-VOLT, or visit affordable-electric. We did that already. Affordable-electric.com for all of your electrical needs. There really isn't anything to look at, I don't think, as far as Peek at the Purple goes. So I'm going to ask you that question I was going to do for 534. It's going to be, you familiar with Como Golf Course?
Yes.
Como Golf Course, probably from the back tees, from the tips, a very dangerous 5,500 yards, roughly, right? Most dangerous part of the golf course is the 7th hole. Toughest hole on the golf course. Par 4, that kind of dog legs gently right to left, goes uphill, and just to the left, you can hear the sounds of the Como Zoo. On the other side of the wooded area. And I'm always concerned. I always keep my eye out in case a lion, a tiger, or a bear escapes from their cage. and makes their way over to Como, not only might you be battling sand traps and water hazards, you might also be battling wildlife, right? So it's a very dangerous part to be. 9 holes at Como, you against 86-year-old Jack Nicklaus. Who do you think wins? 86-year-old Jack Nicklaus. I saw him hit his first shot today.
How'd it look?
He was, he had a good joke. He was on live from the whoever the host was, goes 305 yards right up the middle, and he goes about 300 feet down the left side. So Jack, I don't know. But I wonder if, he can still swing the golf club a little bit, but he is 86 years old. I'm wondering, do you think you could beat Jack Nicklaus at Como?
Because you said Como. Yeah. Because I have a feeling Jack could still probably hit the ball straighter than I can.
Yes.
But, as you well know, at Como, one thing I loved about playing Como when I was in my earlier golfing days was you can completely go 100 yards right of the fairway you're on, but now you're just on another fairway with a clean look to the green, and you can still get there.
On most holes, yes.
So because I would have a distance advantage on him and that I really wouldn't get punished a lot for my wayward shots, I think at Como I could take him down.
But what if Jack can still pop it out to 200 yards? Because it's only a 5,500-yard golf course, and if he still has his iron play. And also, there are some holes where you can't spray it. It's hard to spray it on 2. You're either going to drop down the hill or go left. Let's see, 2, 3 is kind of, it's a bowl green, but that's not, there's a couple of more trickier holes, I'll tell you. There's a lot of danger out of Como, including the zoo itself.
Yes.
I think I'd take Jack. I think I would. No offense.
No, I'm not offended at all.
I would take
there
Jack.
are a lot of senior citizens that could take me down in golf. There's no doubt about that. But
I thought of it because it's the Tenna Challenge is what we like to call it.
Could you take down Jack?
Not right now, the way I'm playing. Again, I've already had a couple people say I thought the game was played outdoors. Well, I didn't play today. I have injury issues. Right. But I'm almost over them because I've brought up the ARP wave system again. I have this thing where I now can put my elbow up to my ear now, like I'm going to wash my head. Sorry, Tenna. And now it's barely painful because I've been ARPing. I call it ARP. I've been ARPing for the past 2 nights. I brought it with me today because I thought I might do it, but I will be back out. I'm going to take tomorrow off to make sure I'm fine.
A little load management, it sounds like.
Yeah, load management. Then I'm going to be back at it on Saturday. I always love playing Masters Saturday and Masters. I usually play Masters Thursday. I play every Thursday, Fridays. What am I talking about? But I like to play in the Masters. This will be the first. I'm breaking a streak. I always play on the first on Thursday, the first day of the Masters, but I wasn't able to do it today. But I'm also, Tenna, I know you don't want to see me naked, and I'm not going to make you see me naked, but if you did, you'd think I was a skeleton. I'm so skinny. And some of it was from mnfatloss.com. I lost 30 pounds in 60 days, and I'm just thrilled about that. But because I haven't done any manual labor since like 1976 or 7. And other than some yard work, and I'm not doing that anymore either. I'm gonna get another sponsor mentioned here, thanks to the Willow River Experience.
What's manual labor?
Oh, he's in the Twins farm system. We got him in that trade. He's a center fielder. Manual labor. See, Sue-Ann wrote today. He's already getting excited about this Twins club.
Oh, not surprising.
Yeah, the pocket protectors are. Well, what do you think of the Twins now? What do you think of the Minnesota Twins?
One of the Twins beat writers got pretty haughty on Twitter last night.
Really?
He commented on the Hopo-meter, when the Hopo-meter came out, and he basically tweeted, I wonder what the Hopo-meter's at now.
Yeah.
Like, guys, it's April 8th. Let's calm down a little bit.
It's like when Brzezinski called me out. I just want to say, Dan Cole, you doubted us, but now we're here. It's one of my favorite moments. It's probably the most significant moment of my career, being called out by AJ Brzezinski. It's not like getting called out by what's the guy from New York, outfielder, Judge. Like Aaron, it's not getting called by Aaron Judge or getting called out by Pete Rose or Babe Ruth, right? But I got called out by AJ Brzezinski for doubting the club. He'd be driving into to the park every day and he'd be listening to me, and he's just gripped on that wheel, and he's just grinding his teeth, and he's so mad at me because I just basically said, terrible team, terrible city, terrible fans, terrible stadium. And then they made the playoffs, and he wanted to tell everybody that I doubted him. And I
guess like back then, like it was before social media, like the only way you heard people talking about you was listening to sports talk radio.
That's it. And so, yeah, and I like what I see. And we talked about Taj Bradley yesterday and how good he was. And then last night, they got, and it's crazy. I put it in my notes going in on Monday. I was going to, and I just never got to it. Now it's almost good that I didn't, because now I can pretend that I didn't even notice, but I did. The Twins hadn't been able to hit left-handed pitching at all. That was their biggest problem. Is they were I don't even think they had a batting average against left-handed pitching. I think they were 0-0-0. Then all of a sudden they faced two of the best left-handers in baseball, in Skubal, two-time Cy Young Award winner. And then last night it was Framber Valdez. We get sick. We would put a 6 spot up on him, a crooked number. And if 6 were 9, we would have been up 9-0. But we weren't. We were up 6-0. Then we tried to blow it. We sent it to the bullpen, and that final was 8-6. And I was watching live from, but I did. I'll put it on my phone. You can watch the game on your phone. Not actually watch, but you can see, men on base.
Sure.
You can do anything. And I saw twice in the 8th and 9th innings, the Tigers were threatening again, but we were able to stave off their rally. So the Twins now, did they get to 500 with that win, or are they 5-6?
Yeah, that's why everyone's getting hotty. They're back to 500.
Back to 500, and I think I got a message for the Cleveland Guardians, in case you're wondering.
Objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear.
You are correct, my boy. Do you like parades would be my other question for you, Tenna. We'll break. We'll come back. Peek at the purple, even though we didn't do any purple peeking. Brought to you by Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, it's affordable-electric.com. Controversial Vikings news on the side of the break. Common Man program on the Fan.
Looking to add some serious distance to your game? Well, you can win a Callaway Quantum Driver. Check out our contest page now to enter. Thanks to Grandview Lodge. Go to KFAN.com, keyword contest to sign up today.
The spacecraft, the mission known as Artemis, is it Artemis 2? It's the first humans to be in a spaceship to go near. Now, they're not actually lands. I would just think as long as you're there, why wouldn't you just stop? It's like
hang out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're making the effort to go that far, that'd be like saying you're going to go to to Camp Richard, Grandview Lodge to play golf, but then you don't get out of the car and go golf. It doesn't make any sense to me. But they're going to they're supposed to land in the Pacific. I think Pacific. Maybe it's the Gulf of Mexico. It could be the Atlantic. I don't know. But they're coming back to Earth. Tomorrow, I think the touchdown international runway scheduled for like 8:07 Central Time. And Tennessee, if they need any help technologically, you're their guy. I mean, you were able to what you just did for me. So you go. I said, hey, do we have Prime Video, or what is it called? Is it Prime Video? Is that the name of it?
Yes.
We have Prime Video. You go. That'd be a question for high energy Helvey. I said, well, how are you watching the Masters? You said, well, I'm watching featured groups on Masters.com. He said, you can put it up on your computer screen. And I said, with another tab. And I went, I like Diet Coke, not tab. You said, no, you can put it on a tab. And I'm like, I know you can do that. I've seen it before, but I have no idea. So you came in here and you hit the little plus and then you added it. And I said, what about my text messages? Because it's on the computer screen. You go, we can click back and forth. Then I said, is there a way you can put them both on the screen? You said, maybe. Then you moved it, the Masters coverage, onto the other computer screen, which is our call screener, because our phone doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, we're not taking them anyway.
Take calls. I think we forgot to pay our phone bill. We've been disconnected by Ma Bell. So now, but you were able to do that. I couldn't have done that. So if they have any trouble at Houston Control, we have a problem bringing them back down. I think they ought to send you over there. I think you get them back.
Very similar technical abilities.
I think so. Safe and sound. Reed Burns.
Adding a tab to put Masters.com in compared to getting to the dark side of the moon with a spaceship.
Oh, great album. Patrick Reed and Sammy Burns are your co-leaders. They're both at -4. Shane Lowry, -3. Is it Rye? Is that how you say that kid's name? The guy that wears 2 gloves. No, not him. Rye's the guy that has club covers on his irons. He and I are the only two people in the world that do that. He does it for probably a better reason. He does it because they grew up poor, and his dad bought him brand new irons. Had to work overtime, workout, and they wanted to take care of him, so they bought iron covers for him. And in honor of his dad and to remember where he came from, he still puts. I think that's cool. I do it just because nobody else does, and I like the iron covers I have. They have zippers on them, so it's like zip, zip, zip. A lot of people, because they play golf with me, when they hear that zip, they think I'm urinating again in the middle of the fairway, but I'm not. I've moved over now. I usually try to do it in the rough. But anyway, and then Rory McIlroy's at -2.
Speaking of technology, the best technology added to golf broadcasts, and it's been for a couple of years now, is the shot tracer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember,
you never know where it was going.
Yeah, remember 25 years ago, you'd watch golf, and the guy would tee off, and you'd have to depend on the commentators telling you where it is. And then the camera person that's up 300 yards in the fairway is moving the camera around, trying to find the ball, and nobody knows where the ball is.
They tried that tracer thing in hockey. Remember that? They had the tracer. Yep.
Well, they had it behind the puck, which was...
And I actually, when they first came up with the idea, I thought this is going to revolutionize hockey coverage, because it's not impossible to watch the puck on TV, but it is so small that sometimes you don't see it, especially
and at that time, they didn't have high-definition television. Right, it was very challenging to watch hockey back then.
And especially when you've got getting old guy eyes like mine, sometimes you can't really see it very well. You got a little black plastic disc. What is that? But anyway.
Bryson's so annoyed.
It's, and I can hardly blame him.
He tripled 11.
Yeah.
And he's bitter.
Rosen's guy is +1. He shot 38 on the front. Matt Fitzpatrick.
His top guy.
Yeah, his top guy. Yeah. I took Patrick Reed for a couple of reasons. And again, it's still early, but right now I look like a genius. He's won at Augusta before. He's done with LIV. He's been playing DP World Tour, and he's won 2 events over there, I think, within the last month. Chip on his shoulder. His short game is as good as anybody in the world. He's one of the best short game players. And then when they said the course was going to be firm and fast, that means more missed greens in regulation. That means more pressure put on the short game. And again, it is early. We'll have to just see how it plays out. How about Freddie Couples? He plays with a yellow golf ball, a Bridgestone. He's -2 through 4. Is he about to... I think this is just an up and down for par. I say just, but that's good for him. A lot of people, I talked to Sauce today on the way in. We text and talk more than most people go. I said, I told you should take a Sam Burns. Patrick Reed. I would never take Patrick Reed. Reed's got a reputation for being, he's been accused of cheating in college. Yeah. He denies it. I don't think that's ever been proven. He's always been kind of a loner and a drifter. So he doesn't have a great reputation, I guess. A lot of people apparently don't like him. I put that aside when I'm doing my gambling.
When I got money on it, it's not about my heart anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's early. I'm not saying, well, he's won it. I'm going to collect my money from the pool I'm in. But he was my pick. My sentimental pick, though, is Justin Rose. Has he started yet, or is he later this afternoon?
I can look at the...
because I don't see his name anywhere.
He's even through one, so he's just on the course.
So he's just getting started, so good for him.
Looks like we only have about 10 golfers that haven't golfed yet.
Okay.
Including Scotty Scheffler and Justin Thomas.
And you know what? Anybody that didn't pick Scotty Scheffler probably is a fool, right? He'll probably end up winning again, right? Because when he is on, he is definitely the best player in the world. Are you familiar with the tennis player named Medvedev? Have you seen the video?
I've heard the name before. I haven't seen the video, no.
He's playing, and he used to be the #1 player in the world, apparently. He was playing in the Monte Carlo Masters yesterday. He lost 6-0, 6-0 to Matteo Berrettini. I've watched the video. He let's just say his performance triggered himself. He lost his temper, to say the least.
Sure.
He smashed his racket on the red clay court 7 times, and the crowd kept urging him on. Every time he would smash it, they would cheer again. He takes it. I mean, Tim, when I say smash, he takes it and throws it as hard as he can into the red clay court, and you see it just bend. Then he walks over slowly, picks it up again. He does it 7 different times.
I love the crowd's encouraging him.
And the crowd's just every time they're cheering louder and louder. He takes it and then deposits it into a garbage can. But the sad part is he received a code violation for unsportsmanlike conduct. Now, he's probably going to get a hefty fine. I mean, if that doesn't get you kicked out of the match, what will? I mean, because that wasn't just one time, where you get a little angry. I've done it with a golf club before. I've slammed my club into the ground. I've actually helicoptered my club, which I again, I'm not proud of it, but sometimes my temper gets the best of me. Joe Stansbury, he told me one time, he goes, it's okay to get mad. It's okay to throw a club, but limit yourself to 5 throws a year. He said this way, and he was right, because I went into the season thinking 5 times. In that early season round, in April, I reared back and I was going to helicopter. And I went, no, I don't want to use it yet. Because there's going to be. It's
like the new pitch challenge strategy that the Major League Baseball players have to have. They only have 2 of them. Yes. And you have to decide early in the game, do I want to use this now or not?
That's exactly right. And so that's what I was saying. So I don't want to throw this club yet. Because what if I get to July and I'm out of tosses? What do I do then? Because there is plenty of time for me to get bitter out there. So, but anyway, the Medvedev thing, you've got to watch it. It's so good. Here's a text message that says, caddies hate iron covers. If Rye wins the Masters, his caddy will love, he will think that's the least of his worries. He'll love club covers. If he wins, then he gets 10% of that purse, which will be, what is it for the Masters? Is it a couple million nowadays? Might even be more. I don't know what they're paying for the Masters, but it's a good chunk of change. So we'll keep our eye on that. Big one tonight, right, Tenna? And it's in the Big D, right? It's not at
it's in the Big D.
Yeah.
We're on the road tonight.
Taking on the Dallas Stars. 2 reasons to root for the Wild. One, we'd like to surpass Dallas. And
technically, if we win tonight, they would still have the second spot based on the tiebreaker, but we would tie them in points.
And how many more games to go after that?
3 more games after that.
We win, we draw even, but like you say, the tiebreaker. I guess there's 3 reasons to root for the Wild. Also, just to kind of send a message, right? For when we meet, because we're meeting in the first round, either there or here to start. So beat them, and maybe that stays there. And then the third reason is they are the Stars. They used to be the North Stars, and now they're the Stars. Though you and I have discussed that, I don't really harbor any ill will toward the franchise, because it's like Rosen was saying yesterday when he was trying to get out of, he's been mocked, when he was working for the television station and he needed access to the Twins, he would always stick up for the Pohlads and the Twins, right? But as soon as the TV ended and he doesn't need that access anymore, suddenly he finally came around to being bitter about the lack of spending money. And he's talked over the last 2 years about how hard he's been on the Twins. Well, welcome to the club.
Just watch the Medvedev video. Now, I'm not hearing it. I don't hear the crowd because I'm listening to you. Yeah. But after the 3rd throw, and he had to walk to it, I'm like, all right, it's got to be over now.
7. Count them. It's so good. I love it, actually, quite frankly. He holds himself to high standards. He used to be the #1 player in the world. But anyway, what were we just talking about?
You're talking Wild.
Oh, so, there are people that, and Rosen now says, he goes, well, I don't hate the players. It's not their fault. It's the ownership. And that's the same way I feel about the Wild or the North Stars, the Stars franchise.
Yeah.
It was the owner, Norm Green, who wanted to move the club for various reasons. And it wasn't like the players said, yeah, let's go. I don't want to be here anymore. And it wasn't like, and so for some reason people continue. And is Norm Green even alive anymore? He doesn't own the team anymore, does he?
No, he doesn't.
And so I don't understand. And
because we're irrational.
But it is. It's irrational is what it is.
It's because
it's the call I've been waiting my entire life for. You might be a repair guy. Did I tell you this? So I was talking about how skinny I'm. Tenna, if you need a Halloween decoration for your front yard this fall, put a hook on the back of my neck, get a little chain, and hang me from your patio, right by the doorstep, and I'd be a skeleton. That's how skinny I am. So now,
congratulations.
I've got an old hoist. No, I don't want to be skinny because I'm losing muscle now. Because they don't atrophy. There's another word for it. They say it starts at 30 years of age if you don't lift weights or continue to work out in some way, shape, or form. Right. So I've got my muscles. I have none left. I looked at myself in the mirror. My arms, they look like pipe cleaners. Right. And so I've got to start working. Well, I have a universal weight system in my basement. You know where I got it? I got it from the late Dickie Enrico from Second Wind. I did some commercials for him. I did a trade, and I got this piece of equipment. And it's actually, I've been using it to dry clothes. Remember, I brought it up the other day that if you have a tag on your clothes that says air dry or hang dry, they want you to put it in the dryer, because then all of a sudden your clothes will fit Leo instead of you. They shrink that much. So I've been using it for that, but I got to get strong. But my boy said it doesn't work anymore. Dad, I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, the weights stick. The cables are all loose. No! So I threw out I mentioned it on the air. Somebody texted me or sent me an email and said, try these guys. Called the guy yesterday. You heard me talking on the phone with him just before I went on the air. They came over today. You're not going to. It's a home gym. Guess who the guy's the repairman's name is? Jim. You can't make it up. His name is Brilliant. Jim. He's a repairman for a gym. No, his actual name is John, but I thought it was a funny bit. He knew who I was. He goes, "Oh, you're the common man." And then he looked, because he came over at 10:45. He goes, "You're leaving for work already?" He gets the bit. He couldn't believe I was. He goes, "I can't believe you needed me to be here by 10:45." But he's working on that piece of machinery. Maybe that was him calling and telling me it's complete. Then I'm going to get buff again. I'm going to be. Well, I've never been buff, but I'm going to start working out again. I got to.
Start driving the ball 280.
Well, I'd like to. There's no question about that. I would be. I'd be all for that. So, anyway, tonight, anything? Is there? I didn't read anything. Of course, I didn't really look too close today, but we got a feel for what's going to happen tonight. Everybody healthy, both teams kind of going at full strength.
While they're healthy, Dallas has a few injuries, not to any of their big top guys, but they have a couple more injuries than the Wild do. I guess maybe the most significant news, and this is me assuming it's news, is that Bobby Brink is sitting out again tonight.
All right.
Bobby Brink sat both games against Ottawa and Detroit over the weekend. So to me, this is a signal that Bobby Brink, assuming the team stays healthy over the next week and change, that Bobby Brink will be the odd man out for game one against the Stars.
If the season's on the brink, you got to play Bobby Brink. If the season's on the brink, you got to play Bobby Brink. If the team starts to stink, you've got to play Bobby Brink.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good.
If they start to stink, you got to play Bobby Brink. So it's both teams, I'm assuming, will treat it like it's a playoff game, right? Because you're playing for a home court advantage. And like I said, do you think there's anything to like sending a message?
So that's what I'm wondering tonight. I was actually talking with Fallness before I was on the air with you. I joined him at 11:35 today. You can podcast that segment. You can listen to it right now on the Paul Allen podcast.
We have a new leader on the golf course. Sammy Burns just makes birdie on 15. He goes to 5 under for the tournament and for the day. Reed at -4. Lowry, I can take you as far as Lowry and Rye are both at -3. McIlroy just had a birdie putt to try to get to -3, but he'll stay at 2 under par. So anyways, you had Fallness and...
Yeah, so I was out with Fallness and I was talking about... it's hard to exactly know what we're going to see tonight. I could see a variety of things happening. I could see playoff intensity. We have to send a message to the other team. We're going to go after their star players and get physical with them and bump them around a little bit, send them a message. I can also see two teams going, is home ice advantage that big of a deal? Like, shouldn't we be trying to just stay healthy here? And the last thing we want to do is hurt anybody over the next week or so. And why are we going all out tonight for what is just seemingly a minor advantage? My guess is we're going to see, I don't know if I can call it a playoff atmosphere, but a very heightened, alerted regular season type.
Okay.
And I think both teams will go at it tonight to a certain extent.
Rye does wear 2 gloves. I just saw it. He does. I just wanted to get that in. That's breaking news for me because I couldn't recall if he was the guy that wore 2 gloves, but he does wear 2 gloves. I wonder
why that is.
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm beginning to think...
Do you putt with a glove on?
That's the dilemma I've had forever. I putt better with a glove in my hand, but I like the way it looks dangling out my back pocket. So I don't know, am I there for results or for looks, for a fashion statement? So then I came up with the idea for, and I want to get this to the folks at Unreal, because I'm going to be, by the way, I am an Unreal Golf Apparel Ambassador again for this year. Thank you. And I have an idea for them where you have just the fingers of a glove sewn into your back pocket so it looks like you have a glove in your back pocket the whole time. Brilliant. Do you think those would go flying off the shelves? What do you think? So you just have like half a glove. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I don't know why.
Because I don't, because I take mine off every time I putt, so I can't imagine having to wear 2 gloves and then taking both off every time, then putting them back on after done with the green. Yeah, well, it seems like a hassle. Well, and I will tell you, caddies hate that. How often are you playing with caddies, by the way, is the question I'd ask for the person that emailed that. Yeah, not very. Though there are... Unless you're at Winged Foot.
And a Winged Foot. We don't wear our hats backwards at Winged Foot. We don't wear our hats while dining at Winged Foot. We don't allow denim. I know, at Winged Foot. I told the guy, I was in the locker room, all I had was a pair of jeans. I said, then I'm going to have to take my pants off and leave in my boxers. What do you want me to do? It's like, get over yourselves over there at Winged Foot, East and West Coast. I've heard rumors, I don't know if they're true. You know, maybe we could Google it. Like $750,000 to join. I can't believe it's $750,000. That's not possible. Is it?
Well, I'm sure there's a golf club somewhere that's at that. There's a lot of billionaires and millionaires in this country.
Here's the one that I get a kick out of. Anytime you'll see, the players wearing, like Rory gets his green jacket, right? And he gets it put on him outside, Butler cabin, and the crowd's there and they're cheering after he won, right? Every guy gets it, right? They put it on him inside, when what's his face, Nance will go. Like this year, let's say Burns wins. Okay, let's say he's the leader right now. We use him as an example. Let's say Sammy Burns wins. He'll get interviewed in Butler cabin, and then at that point, Nance will go, well, Rory, will you do the honors? And then Rory will stand up. And so it's just cheesy. And then Rory will put the jacket on. Sammy Burns, it'll fit perfectly, right? And then Sammy will have a jacket. Well, then they'll go and repeat the ceremony outside for the patrons to see, right? In the members. And you'll see the members of Augusta, the members of the champions of industry all wearing a green jacket. I was watching it today, and I talk to the TV. I talk to myself all the time. I go, well, you had to buy your green jacket, basically, because you had to pay a membership fee. They earned theirs. And I guess you earned yours by earning a good living and getting that invite. I'm not even sure how it works. I think you have to be invited. You can't just say, hey, I'd like to. What I always wanted to do was drive my car up Magnolia Lane, get out, go to the clubhouse and go, hey, I was just going by. I thought this looks like a nice course. You got room for a single? And what do you charge for a green fee for walking? Brilliant. I've done that before. On the occasional times I'll get invited to a private club by someone, and I like going in. There'll be a young kid behind the desk. Can I help you? And I go, yeah, I was just driving by, wondering if you got room for a single. And then they get that look of panic on their face, and you can see him kind of reaching underneath the counter for that button, for security. Got trouble here. I go, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I tell them I'm playing with Gummy. They go, who? Well, Gummy. And then they go, oh, Gumshoe guy. We'll take a break. We'll come back. When we do, we'll update the leaderboard. And then Tenna B will have he'll rapid fire questions at me. We call it 5-3-4. Do you got a tease, Tenna?
Yeah, the Twins offense is en fuego.